Trevor, Kyle, TELYKast, welcome to America's Dance 30 for the first time.
How are you?
It's great finally meeting you guys. Now, really quickly, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I feel like we have to address the 3-ton gorilla in the room. And I say 3 tons because obviously TELYKast used to be 3 members. So What was the story with Linus?
During COVID, he got a job with his dad, and he was like working a lot on that, and which we totally understood. And he kind of wanted to settle down a bit more and stuff like that afterwards.
He's older, and like being like on the face and like being like all the stuff that comes with an artist just wasn't really his style the older he got. And I feel like that we're 28, so we're like gunning to like do the shows and do everything. So it's kind of like no bad blood whatsoever. We're still all best friends, and like he participates on the music if he wants. But it was just kind of like a reshuffling. I think that made sense coming out of COVID with all the shows and the direction that we're headed. So nothing bad at all.
Because it was crazy. Because I remember even like during COVID, you know, researching you guys and talking about the 3 members, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait a second, it's only 2, and I didn't see any story about it. I'm like, what the heck happened?
No, it's nothing bad at all. That's why we didn't really even want to like draw too much attention to it, because we're still all the boys, you know, and like
we're still working together and everything like that. So it's just more of like the face of it now is different, and like touring wise, it's like that's like us that is doing it, which made sense for everybody. So I think it ended up being really good.
Well, let's not bring any more attention to it. Let's concentrate on your smashes, Body to Body, and your brand new one, Better Now. Before we chat all about these songs and find out how they were born, since this is the first time that you guys are on the show, let's get to know TELYKast a little better with Finky's firsts.
Awesome.
All right.
Now, of course, even though you guys were a trio recently, you guys actually started TELYKast kind of as a duo originally, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the first time meeting?
So it was actually Linus and I. We were random roommates because we attended a school in LA, North Hollywood, called Icon Collective, and we just hit it off. And after school is when we ended up meeting Trevor, because he was working at a studio, and like the 3 of us just like hit it off so well, and like kind of started working together. And the first thing we did like just got so big on YouTube, and we just kind of from there knew we were onto something.
And something I love to find out when there's multiple people in a group is there ever issues with trying to decide a direction to go? Like, do you guys ever butt heads?
I mean, that's kind of what makes it so good. Like our like dynamic is that like everyone has a different kind of perspective, you know, like, but that's what I feel like has made it so great, is that like everyone's perspective kind of gets honed in at the end of it after, you know, going through, figuring it out. But like we're all like so close to each other, and we've been working together for so long at this point that like we're like brothers. So it's like if we fight about something, it's like no bad blood, you know. It's like, all right, like I get you, you know. It's like very understanding.
It totally makes sense. Now, was TELYKast the first name that you guys decided on, or were there other names you might have gone with?
That was pretty much the main one. Yeah. Kyle came up with the name, but now it's cool because like TK is our initials, and like Telecaster is like a guitar. So like, and we like playing guitar in our songs and stuff like that. So like the name ended up having like a bunch of like cool meanings behind it.
It's also like kind of elaborating off that, it's like TELYKast, like broadcast. So it's like broadcasting our music to the masses. So that's why we really like it.
Now, Trevor, you actually come from a metal background, correct?
Yeah.
And was music the first thing you wanted to do when you were growing up?
Yeah. So I started playing guitar when I was 9, and like I wanted to play guitar even younger than that. My parents finally like gave in and got me a guitar, I remember, for Christmas, like a Costco guitar. but I went to guitar lessons at this like preschool like park, and I remember the guy like after like a few months he put me in like the adult class, and my mom was like, oh damn, he's like actually good at this. So kind of ever since then I started getting into bands and stuff. Like in my teens and started working at a studio when I was 17. So like I never really had anything else that like, or every time I would have a thought of something else, music would like pull me back in. So it's kind of always been what I do.
And I got to be honest with you, I love all genres of music, but one thing I just can't get into is metal.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to make this conversation awkward, but
no, it's funny because like when I was in the metal bands, I would be like, oh man, like DJs, those guys don't even like play instruments, like, and then look at me now, you know. But like now I get it. Like you can see it from like the different perspectives. But yeah, I haven't been to a metal concert in a while.
That's so funny. Now, Kyle, you come from a DJing background, correct?
Yep.
And when you were growing up, was music what you wanted to get into originally?
I was always super into it, but I was actually fully playing ice hockey my whole life until I was 19. So that was really like all I knew and had time for. But when I was 13, I went to Sweden for a hockey tournament, and that's where I first heard dance music from another team. I could just hear it coming out of their locker room, and I was like, I asked the kid after, I was like, what was that? What were you listening to? And it was like a Benny Benassi remix, and like I was like, wow, this is like the craziest thing I've ever heard. So I ended up getting the CD that they were listening to, and like it was always just like something I messed with as kind of like a hobby, but never like fully until I was like 18 or 19. I had a hockey accident, which I can't play hockey anymore, and then went fully into the music thing. So it was, in hindsight, a blessing in disguise, because I think it definitely like helped me choose the path.
Now, do you guys remember the first show you guys did as TELYKast?
Was the one first with you even?
What was that? Was it like somewhere in LA?
Oh, it was the El Rey.
Yeah,
in LA. Yeah.
And how did it go?
Incredible.
It was kind of it was crazy because like we had like I remember they even like told us, the people that we were opening for, they were like, I remember we went into your guys like green room and you had like 30 people in there because like we had all of our friends like in LA. It was like the first
shebang.
A complete party, and then like they all like tried to come on stage. It was funny, but it was a lot of fun.
That sounds about right.
We thought it was great.
Now, I saw a video that you guys did, I think it was last year, where you guys made a song out of sounds in an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
What is the first thing that you guys actually order when you're in a burger joint?
For me, it's definitely burger with grilled onions, double grilled onions for me, and then animal style fries if I'm feeling really
exotic.
I'm
super plain, so I'm just like a double with cheese, mustard, and like the chilies.
Dude, that's great to hear, because I'm even more plain than that. I'm just plain nothing on it. Like I can do cheeseburgers, and that's only because Wendy's screwed up my order so many times and put cheese on it that I'm like, okay, I can get used to this. Now, about right. Now, Kyle, you were talking about hearing a Benny Benassi remix as one of the first dance songs. Do you remember the first dance song that got you into EDM?
Oh yeah. So for me, that was like the song that like kind of like got me into it. But I would say like it was for me like the live aspect. So literally when I turned 18, like 6 months before, I was just buying all the festivals and concerts that I knew were coming right after I turned 18. So literally like 2 days after my birthday, I ended up seeing Cascade, and like that like literally changed my life. Like I was kind of lost because I had just gotten hurt. I was trying to figure out if I was going to go to school or what I was going to do. And like, I was literally just with one friend, and I was just like mesmerized. And like, I came home and I told my parents, I was like, I'm going to go buy a DJ board. And like, I was like, I'm going to run with this. And like, they were so supportive, like through the whole process. So it was definitely that moment though, that I remember changed everything for me.
His sets definitely are life-changing. I got to see him doing a sunset set at EDC Orlando, and I got to be on the Ferris wheel just staring at the stage. Oh, my God. Completely life-changing. Now, Trevor, how about you? What was the first dance song that got you into EDM?
I got to say Avicii, for sure, for me, was like huge. I remember like not only just like loving his music, but also like watching his like videos and like tutorials. I remember I bought my first like software synth because I saw his like video. It was Nexus, and like it was awesome. And I remember just like being like, wow, this is so like like a different vibe. Because, you know, I'm like used to like the metal world and all that stuff. But I was like, wow, these. And then when you go to the shows, like he's saying, and you see the fans, then you're just
There's
like,
just nothing.
EDC
Nothing like
for
that,
me is like the pinnacle of that. Like I remember like in high school, like that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
back when you could go in high school.
I try to explain to everybody that's never been to an EDM festival that you have to experience it because it's just so much love at the festivals.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's really like an energy that you feel with everyone.
Even my parents, like they literally, all they do is listen to electronic music, and like they've come to so many of our shows, so many random shows. Like we saw Swedish House Mafia on their last tour.
That's where all our streams come from.
Yeah. And like my parents, like the same thing. They tell all their friends, like, you have to see it. Like the energy there is just, you can't even explain.
It truly is an incredible energy. Now, finally, in Finky's firsts, do you remember the first time hearing a TELYKast song on the radio?
Nobody to Love.
Yeah.
I think was one of the real ones. We had people supporting them like in random mix shows, but not like proper. That was like the first one. To properly
I forget where that one landed, but that one.
Don't mention the station.
Yeah.
No, I think like top
on the
10
charts though. Yeah, on the charts.
Yeah.
Now, what was the feeling like hearing your song on the radio for the first time?
Incredible.
Crazy.
Yeah. Just like I feel like for me, because like whenever I was like younger, my mom used to say like that's like gonna be like one of those moments, and like so that's just so cool when that stuff comes full circle.
My dad sent me like an hour-long video like him filming like a Bose speaker.
That sounds like a very dad thing to do.
Yeah, eventually like 30 minutes in he's like, oh, there it is. But that was like the pinnacle for me.
Like half the video is him forgetting to stop the video.
He's like arguing with my mom or something. He's even
Now let's talk about your smashes. First of all, Body to Body, which is cracked into the top 10, which is amazing. How was this song born?
That one was crazy. That was sent to us a while ago.
Yeah.
Was that during COVID?
Yeah, we had it for a while.
The top line. And we were like, this top line's so good. That was like actually a rare time where like the beat kind of just came together so easily in like one day, and like we didn't like really change it. And then like a year later or so it came out. So glad we put it out though. I mean, everyone liked it ever since, like, because we always play our songs for people. People like would always tell us, you got to put that one out, and we finally did.
And here we are. I mean, it's such a smash. Now, is there a reason? Because normally you guys do have the vocalist. Is there a reason that the vocalist isn't named?
So we're super, for the record, we're super like wanting to put everyone on. Even like with Sam for Unbreakable, like that was awesome because it's like his voice is just amazing.
Yeah,
like
that was like his first like I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that was one of his first like big releases. I feel like that.
Yeah, Sam Gray's incredible.
We always say that with our collaborators because it's like a lot of them are Swedish people who don't even have an artist project, and we're like, you should make one.
Yeah,
I mean, like, never been a better opportunity.
Yeah, for us, it's like about the song, and like a lot of times, like you can even try to get another vocalist, and like it just doesn't sound the same as the demo. It doesn't have like the magic of the demo. But yeah, I forget what happened with that one, but I think a lot of them just don't want to be featured, like the writers, and they just want to be kind of on the back end, which is fine.
Yeah, when I was talking to Elenium, it was kind of the same situation with, I think it was Annika Wells, who just kind of wanted to go a separate direction, didn't want to be completely tied to EDM, and so that's why she didn't want to be named on one of his songs. So I completely get that.
That's like another thing too. A lot of sometimes the people don't want to just be known as like the
feature
people. Yeah. They want to have their own stuff, so they don't want to get like pigeonholed in that. There's a lot of different reasons.
Now, something I love to find out about songs is how many different tweaked versions there are from when you start working on it to when you finally release it. How many V's were there of Body to Body? Do you remember?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I can probably look at it, but with that one, it was surprisingly a lot less. Now, Better Now is a whole different story. We can get into that.
And we're going to get to that.
But Body to Body was actually pretty early on. I remember it was pretty fast. It was like one day, and that was it. And then I remember we got it mixed by our friend Lauren Moore, who's like awesome. And then it really like kind of just like made it sound great. And then it just sat there for like a year. And then we didn't go back in on it, which was kind of surprising. I feel like it just kind of like aged well. It was like fine. It didn't sound like too dated, you know? Which is good.
After the year, you guys didn't change anything to it?
No,
just some mix stuff, but nothing.
That's a rare, very rare though. That's probably the only song that we've like that's been like that, honestly. Well, Somebody New maybe was kind of like that too.
Yeah, but I feel like for us, the thing we've been trying to like really meld is like a track that's good for radio, but also for a set, and like that felt like it really hit both of those like to a T.
Absolutely. And speaking of, let's talk about your latest smash, Better Now. Is it pronounced Francis Carell?
I believe it's Carell.
Carell? Yeah. So how was that song born?
So that one was in a session. So we wrote the song together with him and Neil Ormandy, amazing writer, who also was part of Unbreakable and Loveless. So that was a crazy session because like I feel like it was the first session that we ever did with Francis. So, you know, that's kind of like, you know, you're like just meeting each other. And then it was like a few hours in and we had like, just like probably like 3 ideas, but nothing that anyone was really vibing with. And then Neil came up with like this idea, the Better Now thing. And then like the song just came out in like 30 minutes, like one of those.
And then you mentioned that there were a lot of changes with it. How many different tweaked versions?
Oh yeah. So that one probably has like, I was like pulling my hair out. That one probably has like 30 versions. Like the drop. Yeah. Like the demo version, like, maybe you'll hear it one day, but the demo version's like way different. Like it's way more like radio pop, like minimal, I guess. But like this one has like big drop, which we wanted, which like we're actually at the studios in Malibu that we work out of a lot called Harbor Studios. And like I was just messing around in my headphones and like came up with this like saw thing that you've heard maybe in the drop. Everyone will hear it. But I was like, is this crazy? And they were like, this is like really like unique. Yeah. And we were like, I'm like, all right, I feel like this is like crazy.
It's kind of like a modern progressive house feeling. Like it just has like that colorful bigness, but not too big, but perfect for like a set.
Personally, I think it's such a smash. Now, what were you pulling your hair out about on it?
Oh, just like literally it's the smallest tweaks that no one would ever notice. Like I'm like, there's like an impact where the saws like hit and like, there's like 3 versions with and without and like half the volume and then like those types of things. But like, cause they just wanted it to be perfect. And like everyone also was so like honed in on listening to it. So like we're all listening to, and then like our manager will be like, is this one different than the other one? You know, like this like verse is slightly different. Like change it back. It was probably just too much stuff.
Doesn't it suck being a perfectionist? Because I'm the same way. Like there's probably going to be about 10 versions of this video when it finally hits YouTube. Because I'll like notice one thing wasn't cropped properly or something. It's like, it's so annoying. Well, Trevor, Kyle, it is awesome finally meeting you guys. Congratulations on Body to Body. Congratulations on Better Now. Thank you so much for your time on America's Dance 30.
Thank you so much, Brian. Appreciate all your support, too.
Yeah.